my god. You're so awesome, Lawrence Lim.
It's Lawrence Lim with the W.
In the opening of the story, the moon is seen in the sky, slowly becoming eclipsed. As the moon darkens, a man is shown digging deep into the earth. After digging for what seems like hours, he uncovers a strange door, a door that should never have been opened. This is the door to hell, where the souls of the damned are trapped, waiting for their eternal punishment. But when the man opens it, all the souls imprisoned there are set free. Inside the pit, the man sees nothing but swirling lava and darkness. Just as he stands in shock, a powerful spirit enters his body. The man's body is then lifted into the air, taken over by this spirit, no longer in control of his own actions. A month later, in a bustling city, a sharif, a local leader, is at the railway station, waiting to greet his daughter, who is returning from a trip. His daughter is accompanied by a friend. As they meet, the peaceful moment is shattered when a group of robbers suddenly attacks. Gunfire rings out as the sharif fights back, shooting at the robbers. However, during the exchange, he is struck by a bullet, and despite his efforts, he collapses and dies. After his death, the sharif's soul arrives at the RIPD, Rest in Peace Department, which is a form of heaven. The gatekeeper of heaven, a wise and kind figure, reads through his records and learns that the sharif led a life full of good deeds. He had been a police officer, protecting and serving the people. Upon reviewing his case, the gatekeeper informs him that a month ago, something catastrophic happened. The door to hell was accidentally opened. This act freed all the souls that had been imprisoned there, those who were being punished for their past sins. These souls have now entered human bodies on earth, taking control of them and influencing them as they wish. The gatekeeper explains that it's the sharif's duty to capture these souls and send them back to hell. At first, the sharif is troubled by the thought of facing such a daunting task. However, when he hears that this mission will allow him to return to Earth, he is eager to take on the challenge. His true motivation is to reunite with his daughter, and this is why he agrees to the task. In his rush to sign the contract that binds him to the mission, the sharif doesn't fully read the fine print. The gatekeeper hands him a special weapon, a gun. She explains that this gun has the power to send any soul it strikes back to hell instantly. With the gun in hand, the sharif is then sent back to Earth. Once he arrives, he meets a girl named Jeannie, who explains that she is there to assist him in tracking down the possessed humans. Together, they form an unlikely partnership and begin their journey to find the souls causing chaos on Earth, aiming to return them to their rightful place in hell. Meanwhile, in the town, a group of robbers forcefully enters a bank, but instead of stealing money, they capture a man and take him with them. The scene then shifts to the sharif, who, along with Jeannie, has arrived at his house. He eagerly looks for his daughter, but before he can go near her, Jeannie stops him. She tells him that his daughter won't recognize him. Confused, the sharif wonders why this is the case. To clarify, Jeannie hands him a mirror. When the sharif looks into it, he is shocked to see that his face has completely changed. He is now a woman. Although he and Jeannie can still see each other in their true forms, the world perceives them differently. To everyone else, they appear as two young women, because in the eyes of the world, both of them are dead. If they were to reveal their real appearances, it would terrify people and raise countless questions. Sharif realizes that even if he approaches his daughter, she won't recognize him and won't believe his words. He is left heartbroken and confused. After this revelation, Sharif and Jeannie visit his grave, the place where he was buried. To his surprise, Sharif's old friend shows up. However, when he looks at both Sharif and Jeannie, he sees them as women, completely unrecognizable. Sharif, too, sees his friend as a woman, confirming that no one can see him in his true form. His friend is worried and shares troubling news. People from the city have been taking residence, including his friend's daughter. Sharif, realizing that the girl his friend is talking about is his own daughter, becomes deeply concerned. Without hesitation, he decides to act and, with Jeannie by his side, rushes off to rescue his daughter from the robbers. As Sharif and Jeannie track down the group of people abducting others, Jeannie comes up with a plan to approach them. She steps forward and pretends that her sister has fallen from a hill and is seriously injured, asking for their help. The robbers, cold-hearted and merciless, refuse, showing no sign of compassion. But Jeannie, not willing to give up, offers them a large sum of money in return for their assistance. Tempted by the offer, two of the robbers agree to go with her to help. When they arrive, they find a person lying injured as promised. However, it is not Jeannie's sister, it's Sharif, transformed into a woman. As the robbers move closer to her, Sharif and Jeannie strike quickly. They overpower and kill both robbers, taking their weapons. Now they head toward the rest of the group of robbers. Using stealth, they manage to take down the other robbers. One by one and find the group of people they've been capturing locked inside cages. Sharif and Jeannie try to unlock the cages, but the locks won't budge. Then Jeannie pulls out a flask of holy water. She throws it on one of the men inside the cage, and something strange happens. A round mark appears on his body. This mark matches the one found on the possessed souls they've been chasing. The holy water causes the evil spirit inside him to begin to emerge, and the spirit spreads, weakening the cage's structure. With a loud crash, the cage breaks open, freeing all the trapped people. But before they can celebrate, the freed souls, evil spirits that had escaped from hell, appear before them. Just as the spirits move toward them, Sharif pulls out the gun given to him by the gatekeeper of heaven. He fires it, sending the evil spirits flying, and with the power of the gun, they are sucked back into hell. As Sharif and Jeannie continue their journey, they encounter a young boy named Slim, who appears to be possessed by numerous spirits. Sharif, upon seeing the situation, instinctively prepares to use the gun to send Slim's evil spirits back to hell, but Jeannie stops him. Slim, aware of his own condition, explains that he is not entirely in control of the spirits inside him, but he works for a man, someone incredibly powerful, more powerful than anyone they've encountered so far. This man is the one responsible for opening the door to hell, releasing the most dangerous and evil spirits. Slim's words become more chilling when the spirit inside him speaks, revealing a personal history. "I was no big criminal," it says. "I was a petty thief, never killed anyone, but I ended up in hell all the same." The spirit then expresses a surprising change of heart, stating that it is now willing to help Sharif and fight against the evil they all face. Sharif, after some hesitation, decides to trust Slim, but he shows him a poster, the image of the man who had abducted his daughter, along with other victims. Slim looks at it and grimly admits that he too works for that person who commands the most powerful souls. The man, known only as the Master, is a figure of immense power, and Slim reveals that all the captured souls are taken to him. They're brought to the place where the door to hell was opened, left near the very threshold that separates the living from the damned. Sharif now has a new lead, but with no time to waste, he ties Slim's hands and covers his mouth to prevent him from causing trouble. He drags Slim along, leading him on horseback toward the nearest town, determined to get more information. Upon arrival, they find the town eerily quiet, with only a handful of people visible. Sharif heads straight to the mayor's hotel, hoping to get a room for the night. The mayor, initially hesitant, refuses to offer them lodging. But when Sharif reveals his gun, the mayor quickly changes his mind and begrudgingly provides them with a room. While resting, Sharif and Jeannie meet a local woman, hoping she can shed some light on the town's strange atmosphere. The woman hesitates at first, but eventually shares her story. She explains that the mayor had promised a great deal of money to anyone willing to work in a nearby cave. Word spread quickly, and soon everyone in the town had gone to the cave, eager to earn the reward. However, she nervously adds that no one has returned from the cave. Sharif and Jeannie decide to investigate the mysterious cave for themselves, leaving Slim tied up in the room. Their distrust of him is too strong to risk letting him roam free, especially after the unsettling things he'd said. As they make their way to the cave, they encounter a man wearing a mask with his hands bound. He warns them of something they hadn't anticipated. He tells them that just a short distance away, inside a tunnel, there is a deep pit in the ground where poisonous gas is leaking. The man explains that he had been given a mask and instructed by someone to enter the tunnel, which was said to contain vast amounts of gold. But when he and others ventured into work, they never returned. He now speaks of the same man whom everyone calls the Master, the man who opened the door to hell. This Master is the one who controls the forces behind all of this chaos, and the door to hell itself lies somewhere in the town. Before Sharif and Jeannie can react, a group of Master's followers ambushes them, capturing both of them and locking them in a nearby jail. While they're imprisoned, a mysterious girl arrives to meet them. She too had once come from heaven, just like Sharif, and she possesses the same kind of weapon that Sharif was given by the gatekeeper. But there's a twist. The girl had hidden her weapon, which was later found by the Master, making him even more powerful than before. Jeannie, furious at the girl for withholding her weapon and aligning herself with the Master, confronts her, but the girl leaves without explaining much more. It's only after she departs that Jeannie begins to understand Sharif's true plan. Sharif had always known that there was a greater power at play, and now it becomes clear that this power is tied to the Master and his control over the souls that were freed when the door to hell opened. The prophecy that Sharif and Jeannie learn about is chilling. It is said that on the night of the blood moon, when the full moon is at its peak, the door to the moon will be destroyed forever. At that moment, all the souls that had escaped hell will be free to walk the earth for eternity. These souls will not just haunt the living, they will possess human bodies, taking control of the entire population. Slim, the boy they had previously captured and tied up in the hotel, appears just in time to free Sharif and Jeannie from their imprisonment. He confesses that he is the one who was with the robbers and fired the shot that struck the Sharif. However, he insists that he never intended to kill him. Slim didn't even know that the person he shot was the Sharif, as he saw him as a woman due to the change in his appearance. Now that the misunderstanding is cleared, Sharif and Jeannie believe him, and they decide to move forward with their mission. The next step in their plan is to enter hell, where Slim believes the holy water, actually the tears of God, which Jeannie possesses, must be poured to close the door to hell. However, Jeannie hesitates. She explains that inside hell, the environment is nothing but lava and fire, and she's terrified of the flames. She reveals that when she was still human, people thought she was a witch and tried to burn her alive. This experience has left her with a deep fear of fire. Despite this, Jeannie gives the holy water to Sharif and urges him to go alone, as she believes it's her fear to conquer, and she doesn't want to face the flames again. Sharif refuses to let Jeannie back out of the mission. He insists that she must confront her fear, and he won't go without her. After some hesitation, Jeannie gains the confidence she needs and agrees to face her past fears. Together, they head into the depths of hell. Inside, they encounter a terrifying scene. Humans possessed by evil spirits that had escaped hell, all under the control of the Master. Sharif uses the gun given to him by the Gatekeeper of Heaven to attack these possessed souls, sending them back to hell one by one. However, the Master's spirit is far more powerful than the others, and it is starting to overpower them. As they near the heart of hell, where the door to the underworld stands, Jeannie pours the tears of God onto the door. The holy water starts to take effect, and the door begins to close, sending the evil spirits trapped inside their human host back to hell. Just when they think they've won, the Master's spirit emerges from his host in its true monstrous form. This powerful entity is far too strong for them to defeat, and it begins to attack. In a moment of desperation, Sharif recalls the gun given to him by the Gatekeeper of Heaven. He quickly pours the remaining tears of God into the gun, mixing the holy water with the weapon's power. As he sheds a few of his own tears, he fires the gun, sending a bullet filled with the sacred water straight into the Master's spirit. The bullet strikes the evil entity, and with a final, earth-shattering roar, the spirit is destroyed, vanishing back into hell. The three of them, Sharif, Jeannie, and Slim, return to the town where everything has returned to normal. The town is now thriving again, and the people have all come back. Slim, having proven himself through his brave actions, is made the new mayor of the town. The previous mayor, a corrupt man who had discriminated against people, is no longer in power. Despite the transformation, the soul that once resided inside Slim and had been sent to hell for its good deeds remains with him. Because of the soul's positive actions during its time in Slim, it is allowed to stay in the world. Jeannie tells the soul that she will try to help guide it to heaven, but in the meantime, it must continue to serve the people of the town, helping them however it can. After this, Sharif and Jeannie prepare to leave. Sharif decides to visit his daughter one last time, hoping to reconnect with her. When he arrives, he finds that she has married his old friend. Though he is happy to see her and tries to explain who he is, she can't recognize him. In her eyes, Sharif still appears as a woman, and no matter how much he tries to explain, she doesn't believe him. Heartbroken, Sharif realizes that he can't be with his daughter in this form. Jeannie, understanding his pain, gently takes him away. As they leave, Sharif finally accepts the truth about his fate. He tells Jeannie that he's ready to return to heaven and rest. But Jeannie, with a somber expression, reminds him that he may not have fully read the contract he signed. For the next 100 years, Sharif will have to remain on Earth, working for the RIPD, serving the people of heaven, and helping guide souls. This, she tells him, is his mission now. With that, the story concludes, leaving Sharif with a new purpose to fulfill, knowing that his journey is far from over. The town is safe, the evil has been defeated, but Sharif's work as a protector of souls and servant to heaven has only just begun. I hope you enjoyed this story.
Subscribe to Lauren's social media now, or I will weather modify your area so you will have flood for a week or so, or my name is not Donald Trump.